All right, good evening, everyone. The time is 5:01 p.m. It is Monday, March 24th. I'm going to call this special city council meeting to order. Would the city secretary please call the roll?
Mitchell,
Here.
Heiser,
Here.
Rizzo,
Present.
Zuniga, Harris,
Here.
McKinney,
Here.
Tobias.
All right, we have 6 members present. We have a quorum. Councilmember Tobias sent an email to Councilmember Rizzo, myself, and the city manager. He's been in the hospital getting kidney stones. I think he's recovering well, so we wish him the best. Motion to excuse. All right, motion by Mayor, seconded by Councilmember Heiser. Is there discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. All right, motion carries 5-0. Citizen comments is next. But prior to that, Ms. Alcorn Reed is going to make a statement, and then we'll do citizen comments.
Thank you. I wanted to make a statement to answer a couple of the questions that we've got before public comment so that people are aware. Can you hear me now? How about now? Is that better? Okay, I'm not sure how to make this louder. We've seen that there are a couple of questions about why this meeting was called or who called this meeting, and so I wanted to make a brief statement just to answer those questions so that everybody's aware. The meeting was called by the city manager, not on his own volition, but after several questions from various council members about actions that may have occurred. And so he called this to avoid an open meetings issue. If we want to give the same information to a majority of the council, we have to do it at a called meeting. And that's why we're here. The other thing that I want to clarify is that the meeting today is not to decide guilt of any party. The meeting today is to discuss process and ensure that the proper process is followed. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, first up is for citizen comments. The citizen comments are allowed. We ask that you limit your comments to 3 minutes, then you direct those comments to the mayor and council. We also ask that you fill out a citizen comments form and submit that to either myself or the city secretary. First up is Chevo Pastrana.
I didn't put Junior, I meant to put
Junior.
Mayor, I wanted to start out by, but first of all, thank you for calling me up. I wanted to start out by addressing you directly. I know that over some time our relationship has been adversarial, and I think that there are moments in life where men get to define themselves. And a couple weeks ago, I got several phone calls that you had proposed my father's name for the naming of a road. Of course, I had to watch the video so I could believe it for myself. Be that as it may, time will tell how I look at this situation from the perspective of you doing that. But what I can say is that as a man, and as a man who's a father who teaches my child certain things, we teach gratitude, we teach grace, and I wanted to make sure that I publicly express my gratitude for you separating my relationship with you and acknowledging the work that my father has done on behalf of the city. And so that's a big deal. So I wanted to make sure that for me, this is a defining moment in life where I make sure that I say thank you. All right. The second part is what we're here for today. What we're here for today is an issue that's on the agenda having to do with Dr. Zuniga. I appreciate the comments by the city attorney because it helps clarify some of the issues. We spent several phone calls on the phone. That was not one of the things that we talked about or one of the things that was expressed to me. Each of you have received a pretty lengthy letter from me. I emailed it to each of you directly. I'm glad that she also identified that this is to discuss process because it's important that in addition to my letter, I wanted to identify there are due process considerations within the ethics code. And I've identified in my letter, there are 2 things that can happen. One is a report that can be made. 2 is a complaint. You can do one or either. I guess you could do both. It doesn't say you can't do both, but you have those 2 options, is a report or a complaint. That then goes, if a report was made to the city attorney, it then would be referred, she should, according to the code, refer you to the Ethics Commission. The complaint would go to the Ethics Commission. That is the due process. The investigation, the consideration, all the deliberations that go on in the commission. The difficulty with any of you guys making any decision whatsoever here today is that if you were to make a decision on whatever conduct you're proposing is the issue, I've proposed one set of facts as the proposed conduct that I'm aware of. But if you were to make a conclusion and render any type of decision, the problem with that is that the Ethics Code specifically says that there is a time where after the Ethics Commission has made a ruling or determination, they could make recommendations to the council on how to proceed thereafter. If you guys do anything today, then you've already predetermined that. And so we're in a situation where many of you could be challenged for already having made a decision on what to do. And so the issue that's in front of you is an extremely delicate issue. One, because you're dealing with an elected official. I have no idea why this would even come to this point, but you're dealing with an elected official who serves not at your will, not as a collective group of y'all's will, but at the will of the people. And the place for him to be addressed on his conduct or good or bad ratings is at the polls later this year when he runs for re-election. This is unprecedented to call a meeting before a referral is made to the commission, and that was the purpose of my letter.
All right.
So I appreciate y'all's time.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you. Next up is Howard Connell.
All right, good evening, folks. Here we go again. I originally, before these folks spoke, wondered why we're even here tonight, because the Texas Government Code that's cited has about 5 or 6 different categories on there that we could be here for. I don't think we're here to promote Mr. Zagina, and I don't think we're here to give him an award or whatever, but at the last of it, it says about discipline and dismissal, which I took very seriously, and I take this very seriously. What we are heading into is not a Judge Judy situation. How you folks conduct yourself, particularly going forward from this juncture, is going to tell the community where you stand when it comes to ethics, when it comes to fairness, when it comes to speaking and acting on behalf of the people, not on behalf of a mayor, unfortunately, sir. For the record, I want to tell you something. Travis, I don't dislike anything for anything you've done in this town, but I'm going to go on the record, I think your ethics suck. Okay, I'm sorry to say that, but they aren't there. They're shenanigans. And you folks rubber stamping, okay, don't help the matter. I think we're coming to a place in time here in this community where we're going to find out who stands where and what the reasons are for their votes, okay, and why they do the things that they do. Because I've been watching this council for a couple of years, and it ain't good. You all know it. You all know it. Transparency is spoken a lot about, but it's never shown. And I go by looking at what people do rather than what they say. You offered me a town hall back in August, sir. I haven't heard a word from you since then. This is what I'm talking about. When you make a commitment to people, if you don't follow through, your word is nothing. If you misspeak to me like you did about credit cards, I've read it up right here, and I'm going to be filing ethics complaints against some people for it, because I have to point to the points of law where I'm making my accusation, and the ethics committee has to follow that. And if you're going to defeat my accusation, you're going to have to give a darn good reason why. Because, like I says, these rules and laws are not suggestions. They're shalls. And it's time we all kind of look inside of ourselves and do the right thing. And I just want to say one last thing. When you all get ready to vote, I hope that you really think real deep. You can vote one side, and it's going to say one thing, or you can vote the other side and say something else. If you want to have a new beginning with this community, start out on the right foot. Don't stack the deck, because the deck here, and I'll talk to the ethics committee later, it's trying to be stacked by our city attorney. And I can prove it, and I will speak to the proper tribunal when it comes to how I decided my accusations. And Travis, we all know because of social media with Mr. Bear Heiser over here putting two to two together, you're the subject of this ethics violation or committee or charge. You're the subject of it. The world knows it. So let's try and make it right, please. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up, Vaughn Flores-Kale.
Good afternoon, and thank you to everybody who's here today. I know it's 5 o'clock, and a lot of us are probably just running straight from work to here. All right, as someone who has previously held a position similar to Councilmember Zuniga, I understand the significance of independent thinking. As leaders, it is your duty to uphold the integrity of our community and to act in the best interest of those who serve you. If you observe behavior from another leader that you believe is unethical or illegal, you not only have the ability, but also the legal responsibility to respond. In fact, Kyle's ordinance states that as an elected official, you have 15 days from the moment you become aware of such behavior to file an ethics complaint. That said, it is not your responsibility to support someone's vendetta. You should not be coerced or pressured into believing something that does not align with your values. Using a special meeting as a weapon to intimidate another leader is not how our city manager or mayor, both of whom are the only ones authorized to call a special meeting, should exercise their power or authority. Whatever the outcome may be, I will be vigilant to ensure that justice prevails. I will uphold the rules and prevent anyone from overstepping their authority. No amount of open records fees or letters to the Attorney General's office will deter me from dedicating the time and effort needed to ensure proper procedures are being followed. While I may not have received equal treatment in my own experiences, I have made it my mission to advocate for fairness and equality for others. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Are there any other forums? All right, next up is Stephanie McDonald.
Good evening. I was surprised to see a special council meeting scheduled for 5 p.m. tonight, and my surprise turned to alarm when I saw that the meeting here was to hear a complaint against Councilmember Miguel Zuniga. Councilmember Zuniga recently filed an ethics complaint, which I learned of through the March 12th Ethics Commission meeting, and it quite was by accident. I got on YouTube and it popped up, and I was like, what's this meeting? And that's what it was. And now here we are on March the 24th, about 2 weeks later, to hear a complaint filed against Councilmember Zuniga. The timing of this raises suspicions. I would urge the council not to engage in playing politics, to be manipulated or coerced into a decision. Councilmember Zuniga has shown ethics on this council. I urge each council member to hold themselves to the highest standard when considering this complaint. Please put yourself in Councilmember Zuniga's shoes when you make this decision. I find it hard to believe that Councilmember Zuniga willfully violated any ethics. He has served this council with integrity. I hope in an effort to promote transparency, the details of this are made public. We're watching you. We can't really speak to it too much because we don't have too many details yet, but hopefully they'll come out. And Mayor, last summer you did talk to my husband and you told me you were gonna have a town hall last September, and we're still waiting. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Do you have any more forms? All right. Yeah, if you wish to speak, you have to fill out a citizen comments form. You can hand it to City Secretary. We'll wait for 1 second.
Hello, I've been living in Kyle for more than 20 years already, and it's become quite obvious to me that this city lacks transparency. I know when I was advocating for the tree, we asked for numerous plans on the road on Stagecoach Trail, and we either didn't get anything or we got some half-baked plan, an incomplete plan, and then all of a sudden a brand new one pops up, fully complete. So obviously, there's no transparency there. I still have a little bit of hope left, though, that things can change and that y'all can do the right thing, because it's not just a matter of simply following your leader without any thought as to the consequences. Like a couple of other people have said, Kyle residents are watching. And saying one thing but doing another isn't good enough for us. Not anymore. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Tobias.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Angelita Tobias. I am a property owner here in the city of Kyle and a neighbor just across the street. But I am here to speak to you all that I choose to come today because I believe that all of you sitting here have to look at yourselves, first of all, and see if in some way or another y'all have not been ethical, transparent to this community. You need to walk the walk before you start doing what you're doing today. Now, I have high concerns if the city lawyer and city manager, sir, if y'all have not followed your protocol correctly. And if there is a complaint, I'm assuming that it has gone, I hope it's gone to the Ethics Committee, and they make a recommendation to you all. If that has happened, okay. But if it hasn't, that is not okay. So I ask that if at every point one of y'all have been unethical, has somebody filed a complaint against you all, and have you all jumped on it quickly to bring this forth? What about confidentiality? Sometimes you choose to be confident, not to put people's names out there in public, but then at other times you choose to go behind those doors and talk whatever you all talk, and then come says, no action taken. We're not fools. I'm not a fool. That nothing has happened, that you all cannot talk about it, so you hide behind one color brush and then the other color brush. We're gonna do it this way this time, but this the other time, we're just gonna go all hell out. That is not okay. That is not okay, and you all know it. You all know it. So you handpick what you're gonna do accordingly. So if somebody is questioning you, that person, I don't know what the issue may be, but if that person is questioning something that is happening, that is within their right, because they're representing the people that are not sitting there. You don't want the whole town sitting there. That person is speaking, the constituents are talking to him, or to you, mayor, everybody. They have something that they want you to address, and address it with integrity. With integrity, for the good of all. I'm completely disappointed that this charade is here today. You tell me, how many times have you done this for all of the past council people that have been perhaps unethical? Tell me, how many times has this happened in this city? Mr. Mayor, you've been here longest. Robert, you've been here the longest. Can you say that? I know you can't answer me, but you think about it. Think about it. And there's been lots of stuff that is happening. I've been here living in this town for a long time. And things just go, oh, let's just go. Let's not talk about that. Let's just let it go. What you think about that? Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening. Right. And thank you for the decision that you're going to make, because you're going to set a precedence. Anytime something doesn't meet your needs, you're going to bring it up here. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other forums? All right, seeing none, we're going to close citizen comments. Citizen comments is now closed. All right, next up is executive session. The city council will now go into executive session to discuss agenda items 1A pursuant to Texas Government Code sections 551.071 and 551.074. Thank you. All right, the time is 5:45 p.m. I'm going to call this meeting back to order. There was no action taken during executive session. There will be action taken now. I motion to direct the city attorney in her official capacity on behalf of the city council to accept the sworn affidavits of council and staff and to file an ethics complaint against Councilmember Miguel Zuniga, which will report actions that the city council has determined must be reported for purposes of compliance with section 2-181 of the city's Code of Ordinances.
Second.
All right, motion by the mayor, seconded by Councilmember McKinney. Is there discussion on the motion? Councilmember McKinney.
I would like to say something. It is an honor and a privilege to be able to serve and represent the city of Kyle. And with that comes a responsibility. We have to hold ourselves accountable. We have to hold ourselves to an ethical standard. And that is true for every single one of us. If I violate a rule, I would expect to be held accountable. Whether it was knowingly, otherwise, I'm not going to go into details. I think that would be inappropriate, and out of respect for Dr. Zuniga, I'm going to talk about the specific situation. But it's not a matter of whether you like somebody or not, whether you get to hold them accountable. Consider Miguel to be a friend. We socialize off the dais as well. So it does come with a heavy heart that we are in this situation. There are a lot of other things I would much rather be doing right now. I think we would all agree. So that being said, if I violate a rule, I would expect to be right here in this situation as well.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries 5-0. Motion to adjourn. All right, we are adjourned. Thank you.